In the previous video, I drove across the west to drop off my 2009 Ford E-Series van at U-Joint, Colorado for a four-wheel drive conversion. While I was there, I watched them strip down the entire undercarriage and begin installing the completely new system before leaving the van in their hands for 2 weeks. Now, I'm finally returning to see my newly converted four-wheel drive van for the very first time. So we just made it to the Denver airport. Out here on the curb, waiting for Justin. He's gonna be picking me up in the van. We're gonna see it for the very first time since the conversion. I am so excited. This is unreal, especially since he's picking me up. What great service. Big shout out to U-Joint Off-Road. Let's check out the van. Oh yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Looking mighty good.
What do you think?
Unreal.
First impressions.
Insane.
Everyone always says, way bigger in person.
It is. Pictures don't do it justice.
They don't, man, never.
Well, let's get this puppy loaded up and head to the shop.
Let's go, buddy. Got a couple tasks at hand today. First of which, there's a small driveline vibration in this thing we gotta chase out. So we're gonna head back up to the shop real quick, grab a couple tools, and do a little test driving around. So it's gonna be an excuse to get some more test miles on this thing today. We're gonna go to the drive shaft shop, pull the shaft out. They're gonna recheck the balance on it real quick. And a little more test driving throughout the day. Maybe we'll head up to the mountains or something, go get a little dirt on the tires. Either tomorrow or the next day, do our whole final checklist on it, do our final nut and bolt check on it, and then it's all ready to go home on Friday.
Totally blown away riding in the rig for the first time. It already feels so much higher on the road. It's kind of crazy. It's definitely a smoother ride, no question.
For sure.
It felt a little rattly when it was stock suspension. This feels so much smoother, so much better. So is it sitting a little higher too?
Yeah.
It'll probably sit down.
And the leaf springs over the course of the first 1,000 miles or so, they break in, they'll settle in. So yeah, as soon as you start adding weight to it, we get some more miles on it, it'll settle into its final height. We have all that pre-engineered into the springs ahead of time.
Awesome. Well, I'm stoked. It looks so good in person. Can't wait for some adventures to unfold in this baby. So let's get started. Well, we made it back here to U-Joint Off-Road. Got Justin here doing a last few adjustments on the van. I came here a little prematurely. I jumped the gun, of course. The excitement got to me, but there's a few little things left to do, a few little adjustments to make just to make sure it's perfect before I take it on over to Oregon. So Justin's kind of running through some of these things, tightening some bolts, and then we're gonna take this baby off-road, run it through its paces a little bit, and make sure it's all dialed in and good to go, because it has just entered a whole new realm of capabilities. We're coming in on the home stretch here for the four-wheel drive conversion. Looks incredible, drives incredible, big things happening.
Time to lock the hubs, put her in low range for the first time. A van is like a truck that you can lock, basically, and is weatherproof on the back. It's the inside space. That's what gets everybody to a van. Some of us just want to go outside and just like bounce around off-road, you know? And these are perfect for that. It's all about making it easy so people will actually use it, right? Like that's what we want people doing. We want people to like actually use these things. That's my favorite thing in the world, is getting a picture on a Sunday afternoon from a customer with their rig out in some insane place somewhere. Most people that do all their research and everything come to conclusion that like, this is the best way to do it, man.
Well, it was a fun time wheeling out here. We're on the Front Range of Colorado. There's not a ton of snow yet, even though it's January. It's almost midwinter here. So it's a great spot to come out here and test it. A few little cruxy zones that probably weren't very cruxy to Justin because he's done this a lot. But to me, it was pretty cool to see the van just crawl over it with no problems whatsoever. Like, we didn't even have any wheel slip or anything like that. It just ate it up all day. Time to head back to town, do some last little adjustments on this bad boy, get these headlights replaced, maybe do a little walk around and show you guys exactly what we did to the van, what Justin did to the van. I didn't do anything to the van. So yeah, we'll see you back at the shop. Well, we're having a couple little issues with the headlights that came in, so we're jerry-rigging these ones. I don't know if it's jerry-rigging, it's pretty legitimate rigging to at least get us to Oregon. The anticipation is building as the 4x4 conversion nears completion. I'm itching to get this baby on the road to Oregon, where we will start the interior build with Axis vehicles. Taking a mostly stock work van and converting it to a full-time livable rig is a long journey and takes patience. It doesn't happen overnight, but I appreciate every step of the process.
Cool.
Yeah. Dirty. While it was in the shop, the light was hitting the side of my van just right to discover the outline of some old lettering that read, U.S. Customs Border Patrol. Apparently, my van was a Border Patrol vehicle in its past life, something that I never knew. Well, right now, we're gonna aim the off-road lights because they're a little bit all over the place. This rig is far from complete, but it feels like so much has happened in the last year since we acquired the van. Erica and I have already made so many memories taking it out on weekend adventures, which has opened our eyes to what life is like on the road. For us, life is best lived simply and in the moment. We don't have the same distractions we do at home when we're in the van. We get to spend more time outside and less time mowing the grass, shoveling snow, or staring at a screen. I've always dreamed of living in my rig and traveling around the country, and it feels incredible to experience those dreams coming to fruition.
All right, man, so it's wrap-up day. So now it's time to go over everything we did for you. So we'll just start bumper to bumper. First thing we did is our standard 6-inch four-wheel drive conversion. So we custom spec the springs for each individual van. So these set of springs were built individually for your van. We take it out, we get it weighed, and then we build it to that spec. Now, obviously, we had some extenuating circumstances with yours because we had to plan for future edition of camper build and everything. So we overspec the springs in preparation for all of that work happening. So we got Will set up with our biggest, baddest front axle that we offer. So we call it our Stage 3 Dana 60. We do a Detroit True Track limited slip differential in the front. And then we choose gear ratios on a case-by-case basis also. We decided to go with a 456 gear set on this one. So everything is all new, rebuilt inside of it. Everything from the knuckles out on our Stage 3 axle is from a company called Dynatrack. So it's got their own knuckles and everything. We run the high steer, and that gives us nice flat drag link and track bar angles, which really makes these things drive as good as they do. And then the other really nice part is we get big old giant 14.5-inch diameter rotors off of an F450 on here also. So this thing has a ton of braking power, which is really, really nice. So in the back, same thing. We custom spec the springs out also. So many other people that do this, they're just guilty of running the stock springs and they just put a big old lift block underneath the stock spring and then call that good enough. But we run no blocks in the back. We custom spec the springs. It's all arch, and that's really huge difference. I can't stress it enough how big of a difference that makes in the overall ride quality of these vans. 250s and 350s come with a Dana 60 in the back. Yours is a semi-float, which is fine for the amount of weight that you're carrying. Re-geared 456 in the back as well with a full rebuild, all new bearings and everything. And then we really love these aux cable lockers. These are made in America. They're super nice. We like to run everything like super simple, super mechanical. Wheels and tires. This is our favorite wheel. It's a Method 701. It's a 17 by 9. It's got what they call bead grip on it. It's basically 90% as good as a bead lock. So Will expressed that he wanted a tire that was going to be really good in the snow, and the KO2 is that. So we went with that in a 35 12 50 17. Our standard four-wheel drive conversion, it comes with Fox 2.0 shocks all the way around. Will's van already had all the nice Illuminous bumpers and ladder and rack and everything on it already, but they were all just completely bare and empty and everything. So we added all of the goodies onto that. So in the front bumper, we got it stuffed with a 12,000-pound Warren VR12S winch with a factory 55 Pro Link. Already had the black grill in it, which we swap into most of our builds anyways. We just put these little clearance lights in it to kind of tie everything together, with all of the Baja Designs LP6s we added in. So we've got some amber combo beams down here. These ones like cast out really far to the side. These amber beams are for like really like low light, low visibility driving conditions, so like foggy, dusty conditions. These yellow beams really cut through that one, especially when they're down low like that. And then up top, we've got 4 more LP6s. The center 2 up there are a spot beam, so those reach out like really far. They're like a really focused beam that goes out really far. And then the outer 2 are combo beams, and then those are aimed to kind of like fill in the gaps of the center 2. So you just have a huge wall of light casting out of the front of this thing when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Then we did our Bushwhacker fender flares. A lot of it's to keep the mud and dirt and everything from flipping off the tires up onto your windshield, but also in a lot of municipalities, your tire has to be covered by the fender. So obviously we're widening out the track width on these things. We need to cover the tire also. So as far as other four-wheel drive conversion stuff goes, obviously we've got to add a transfer case. So luckily on Will's van, he's got the 5R110 transmission in it, which is super easy to convert to four-wheel drive. Some of the other vans that are out there, we have to completely tear it down and rebuild it to 4x4. And then obviously we've changed everything, so we have to completely make custom drive shafts. So custom built 1350 CV drive shafts, front and back. The nice part about doing it this way is every single one of these U-joints in the front and back and both of the front half shafts, it's all the same U-joint. Then right up underneath here, we'll talk about it while we're right here. This is where we keep our onboard air system. So we've got an ARB twin piston compressor mounted right here on a bracket that we make. And then we've got a 2.5 gallon tank mounted right here that's also on a bracket that we manufacture as well. Then the only other thing to talk about while we're over here is we've got our little four-wheel drive indicator light down here also. This will just give you an indication of when you're in four-wheel drive high range and four-wheel drive low range. Let's see. I mean, I think that's really about it. You know, it sounds so simple on the surface, but not much else to talk about besides go out and test drive it.
It's done.
Finished.
It's a totally different vehicle than when it came here. I mean, just an absolute beast. So it's ready to go. We're gonna hit the road. We're gonna drive across the state, do a little fishing, maybe a little snowboarding, and then head to Oregon for the next step of the journey for the interior build. So big shout out to U-Joint and Justin. I can't thank these guys enough. They're so good at what they do. They're absolute experts. You know, you can tell they eat, sleep, and breathe building out these vans. So if you guys are interested in getting your own van converted to four-wheel drive, there's no other choice. Just save yourself the trouble and just go straight to U-Joint. Hit up Justin. I'll include their information below, maybe a little link right here, and we're off. So see y'all on the road.
All
Alrighty.
right, buddy, here's your keys, all yours. Enjoy it, drive safe.
Appreciate it, Justin.
Yeah, man, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, buddy. Peace out.